Good day, lovely people. Good day, lovely people. It is Tomiko. It is Tomiko again. It is Tomiko, the social worker. I am just coming to check in. I am coming to check in and see how you're doing. I hope your day is going well. I hope your day is going well. Listen, I have a short topic that I wanted to talk about. And the topic is let's talk gay. Let's talk about getting ahead of yourself. Let's talk about getting ahead of yourself. So listen, I want to share the personal experience, which I already did, about me going to the optometrist, which is the doctor for glasses, instead of starting with my primary care doctor. But I got so many lessons from that experience. And so that's where I got the topic from, because basically I went ahead of myself when I first, was seeing blurry, and I was like, hey, let's go to the doctor. Let's go to the doctor for the glasses. But that wasn't it. When I was really supposed to start with the primary care doctor, who basically guided me to the eye specialist, right? Was the ophthalmology. And so this is my take. It costs you. When you want to skip steps, it'll cost you. It'll cost you. So let me tell you how it cost me. All right. So first, it cost me financially because I got new lenses, right? So it's the same frame, but these are lenses. So I got thicker lenses, right, to help me see better when I had the fluid, right? So I got the thicker lenses. And so, but then I went for other specialists. I went to like neurology and things like that. And so neurologist was saying, hey, well, we can do a spinal tap. We can do a spinal tap to take the fluid out. And then the eye specialist, the ophthalmologist, was saying, hey, we can put you on some oral medication that's going to decrease the fluid. That could decrease the fluid. And so the ophthalmologist was like, hey, let's do least invasive. The least intervention, things that we can do that won't cause prospective harm, that might not cause so much harm, and which was the oral medication. So I was like, hey, I like you already, doc. Like, let's do least invasive. That is my conversation. That is my language that I usually talk. Least invasive. And so when the ophthalmologist was saying that, I was like, hey, okay. So I was like, so you tell me I don't need the spinal tap? She was like, no, not right now. Let's do least invasive and let's see how that works. And sometimes that's why it's important not to skip steps. That's why it's so important, because by skipping a step, by going to the optometrist, it financially cost me. It cost me time, and it financially was costly. The thicker your glasses is, the more money. That's just the bottom line. It cost me some sleep too. It cost my mood to change. So it cost me, right? Yeah. So from then it cost me again, because I was thinking about, I was considering it. I didn't agree. I was considering it, the spinal tap, because I just want stuff out. I like results. I'm like, okay, so spinal tap, I wasn't too comfortable with it, but I would have went through with it. I would have went through with it. But then when I went back to the ophthalmologist, he was like, no, oral pills. Let's do oral pills first. Let's decrease this, the fluid with the oral pills, and let's see how that works. Let's get it going. And I was like, okay, that's my type of language, yeah. So I agreed to the oral pills. I didn't do the spinal tap. When I'm feeling mighty fine, I'm feeling okay. I am feeling okay. But this whole experience really taught me. It so really taught me how skipping steps, skipping over authority can really cost you. it can really, really cost you in more than one way. And again, I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't know I had a primary care doctor. I personally been with my primary care doctor for over 20 years. We have a great relationship, but it was just the urgency of me not seeing. I thought I knew it. Go to the doctor for some eyeglasses, and that's not what it was. And so now that my fluid is decreasing, these are wrong lenses. These are wrong lenses. So now it's going to cost me again. It's going to cost me again to get the appropriate lens. It's going to cost me again to get the appropriate lens. So that means it cost me twice. It cost me twice. So it's so important, you know, to know who. It's like an organizational chart, you know, business-wise. People want to know, where's the organizational chart? Who do I go to first? Who is the top at the organizational chart? Who starts the organizational chart? And so it's so important not to jump over people that's in authority. You know, I jumped over, you know, I skipped over my primary care physician and went straight to the optometrist. And it's not like, and I just want to say this, it's not like I went to the wrong doctor. I don't want to say that. I just went out of turn. That's what it is. I went out of turn. Maybe after the fluid decrease, the doctor would have said, okay, now go to the optometrist and see if you need new glasses. So sometimes going out of turn, sometimes skipping steps, it will cost you. It will cost you. It will cost you in more than one way. It will cost you sleepless nights. It will cost you being up at night. It will cost you unnecessary worry. It will cost you unnecessary stress. It will cost you in more than one way. Okay? And so that's the theme that I got, respecting those in authority. And start right there. Let's not skip over authority to be so fast just to get, hey, I know who to go to get the answer. I'm not going to go to this person. I can get the same thing if I go to this person. Yeah, so why do I have to go there? It's important. It's important why people are placed in authority. It's important why people are placed, you know, at that time. You know, they might hold the answer that you need. And a person that you think might have the answer, not saying that they don't, but it might not be that answer, that particular answer you need at that time. It may not be, just like the eye doctor. I'm not saying he didn't have the answer for me, but he really didn't have that particular answer at that time because these are the wrong lenses. If I would have started with my primary care doctor, going to him. I'm not saying I went to the wrong doctor. I just went out of turn. And when you sometimes go out of turn, you miss pivotal, you miss important moments, you miss answers that you need. And so it's so imperative to take one step at a time. It is so imperative to take one step at a time. This is me. I'm taking my step. I'm taking my step. I'm taking my step, y'all. I'm taking my step. I am taking my steps. Yeah, I'm old, y'all. I'm holding on. I am taking my steps one at a time. One step at a time. One step at a time. All right? I can't afford to skip a step. I can't afford to skip steps. You see how far I gotta stretch? You see how far I gotta stretch? When I skip steps, I can't afford, because there's something here for me. If I skip it, I'll miss what's for me. I'll miss it. All right, y'all. All right. Skipping steps can really cost you. It's so imperative to take one step at a time. And that is my chat on Let's Talk G.A.Y. Getting ahead of yourself will cost you. So let's see if we can practice. I'm going to take you with me. These are the steps. 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 And it is so important to sit there and you just take one step at a time, because there's certain reason why these steps are leveled. They're leveled. Sometimes it's not important. It's not important, because when you sit there and you skip steps like this, you skip steps like this, you skip steps, you miss whatever that needed to be at this level here. You missed it. So sometimes don't rush. Take it a step at a time. All right, that is my chat on Let's Talk G.A.Y. That is my chat getting ahead of yourself. You will miss pivotal moments. Take your time. Until then, this is Tomiko. It is Tomiko again. It is Tomiko. And before we go, make sure you take care of yourself and each other. So, all right. Well, until next time, we'll talk soon. Don't forget to take care of yourself and each other. Bye for now.